Let's take a live look over Tacoma now on this very hot day. You can see a little bit of the mountain, but a lot of haze too out there. We know there's multiple fires burning in the Pacific Northwest region, the sourdough fire. We're also hearing of one in Port Orchard. We want to get things over to our meteorologist Adam Claiborne on this first alert weather day.
Yeah, and it's because of more of our easterly flow, the warm up that we're seeing right now with that area of high pressure just off of the Pacific coast that's bringing some of that smoke over our way, but at the same time too leading to as much of the heat as what we're seeing right now as that area of high pressure continues to strengthen. Excessive heat warning is out. First alert weather mode here through Wednesday. Highs more so in the 90s, but could be up to around the 100-degree mark in some parts of South Sound and Southwest Interior. Overnight lows don't provide much relief. Mid to upper 60s, low 70s. That's also why things are going to be quite oppressive here over the next few days. Plus, that high fire risk is still going to be in place. We've been dealing with some brush fires here throughout the afternoon. The higher risk, though, with the dry humidity is going to be along the western slopes of the Cascades and the Olympics as we go throughout the day tomorrow again. So check out the temperatures right here. I want you to really focus in on this. 93 in Seattle. Then 105 in Portland. But then as you go farther south along the west coast, you get the 60s right there for San Francisco and Los Angeles. What's happening? Well, it's that area of high pressure that is wrapping around the wind, bringing us more of that offshore flow to heat things up here. But at the same time, you got a little area of low pressure farther south, which is eventually is going to be riding northward and helping to eventually bring back some cloud coverage, even some relief from some of this heat. But going to take some time before it happens as this guy just stays parked here and stays pretty strong. Once it does, though, we are going to see some relief. But while it's overhead, that's why we have these excessive heat warnings that are out until 11 p.m. on Wednesday. Those highs generally around the low to mid 90s. Again, some hotter spots could be possible. You can see where the areas are outlined here from the coast all the way through parts of the Kitsap Peninsula, Southwest Interior, and through a lot of western Washington. And then we have these other areas that weren't highlighted there because the heat not going to be quite as extreme. Heat advisories for the north coast of the Olympic Peninsula, the Olympic Mountains, and across some of our island communities, and from about Snohomish County northward, where we're going to see those highs more so from the mid 80s to the low 90s. Still going to be pretty hot, just not quite as high as what we're expecting outside of there. And then here comes that fire concern again until 10 p.m. on tomorrow night. Red flag warnings out for the western slopes of the Olympics, the Cascades, and through a lot of parts of South Sound and Southwest Interior for the higher heat and the lower humidity that's going to be in place. Skies are clear out here closer to the coast, but you can see some people actually out here enjoying the water on this really hot day. La Push saw a reading of 100 degrees for our temperature out there. Not the all-time record. That's a 110, but it did set a daily record out for that part. Westward, you can see the skies fairly clear out this way, too, as we go towards the south coast. And then you can see off into the distance Mount Pilchuck. Well, it's clear, but it's a little more hazy with some of that smoke haze showing up in our atmosphere. We're at 93 here in Seattle. North winds coming in at 13 miles per hour. Hot here and pretty much everywhere across parts of Puget Sound at 94 in Riverton, shy of the 100 mark in Shelton at 98, 93 in Puyallup, and then you have the slightly cooler temperatures, at least a little better from about Snohomish County northward with more 80s that are in some of those locations. So there's that area of high pressure. It moves off towards the west. As it does so, it's going to take that heat with it. Tomorrow, we're still dealing with it. Wednesday, yeah, we're still dealing with it then too, but then by about Thursday, that should be out of our hairs and things will start to cool on down. We'll see highs at least down into the 30s or the 80s, sorry, by Thursday with more 70s coming around as we head into Friday and on through the weekend.